Tape number 1 in the deposition of Charles Anthony Hughes in the matter of Nutrition Distribution LLC versus Enhance Athlete Inc. et al. In the United States District Court, Eastern District of California, case number 2:7-CV-01491. The videographer today is Lisa Allen, representing Planet Depots. Will counsel please voice identify themselves and state whom they represent?
Robert Towler, counsel for plaintiffs, nutrition distribution.
Richard N. Gray, counsel for defendant, Enhance Athlete, Inc.
Anthony Pizarro, Mr. Hughes' criminal defense attorney, here to represent him for the purposes of this deposition.
Will the court reporter please swear in the witness?
Please raise your right hand. Do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give and the cause now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Let me tell you something about my boy Tony Hughes. He came out of nowhere, bro. Nowhere. The internet was the same old shit with fitness guys talking about this and that. All of a sudden, Tony Hughes comes around and teaches us about life.
He produces content on YouTube that people want to watch. He's not brainwashing people. He's not putting anything into somebody's head that wasn't already there. What Tony does is he likes to broadcast on YouTube the results of the steroids and the anabolics and the stuff that he takes and give that information to other people who do the same thing.
Just doing a lot of like really explicit stuff and like really raw and really authentic stuff that very few people are doing because like obviously steroids is a taboo in the fitness industry.
I mean, he knows more about chemistry than anybody. Oh, he teaches us, fuck steroids, bro. You got SARMs, peptides, PT-141 for your dick pill, DMP, magic mushrooms, okay?
Tony represents the ideal of ultimate freedom of self, freedom of self-expression, freedom to ultimately live your life the way you want to live it. Yeah, he does have some different ways and things about him that are very eccentric, but that's what he's kind of promoting. Like, it really doesn't matter how you live your life. If you're not hurting anyone, what does it matter?
He gets laid all over the world. Hot chicks, lady boys, female bodybuilders. He loves it all. I love Tony fucking Hughes.
All Tony is trying to do is broadcast himself and speak freely and have the freedom of speech without being censored. And right now, he got shut down 8 times. He's trying to talk about gains and bodybuilding and what to take and what not to take. And he likes to go out there and he likes to go to Asia and do his thing and hang out with babes and show that. So what? He's trying to say something that is totally legal to say and totally legal to have a conversation about, and he's trying to be shut down.
Time to transition into bodybuilding mode, which means I've got to get out of this shirt that doesn't really fit me and into this other shirt that doesn't really fit me. But I'm going to need some help because there's no way I can get this off myself. Transformation, like a beautiful butterfly transforming with the help of beautiful Jackson. Magical experience you guys have experienced.
I'm choosing to use the fast-acting insulin. It's called rapid insulin. This one lasts about 4 hours, similar to a Humalog in the United States. This is about $15 over the counter in Mexico and lasts months. And I'm just gonna do 5 units because I'm ultra sensitive. Most people could probably get away with 10 units, but my body is so sensitive to insulin right now because I've been using the slim pills. I'll maybe jack it up to, let's go 7 units.
Tony Hughes is me. It's me acting my own character.
We all have different parts of our personality we can accentuate. So when I'm on camera, obviously some parts are more accentuated than others.
So you were still, even though you're lifting heavy weight, you're still doing a lot.
I really like attention. So this became part of my persona in a way that I got recognition, an ego, if you will. Ego is not who you really are, but an ego is something that you project.
Lights, camera, action.
Friends of freedom, I am Dr. Tony Huge, and we are here to crush ignorance and pioneer human evolution. Meet Team Enhanced Athlete. Enhanced means making yourself better than natural, performance-enhancing drugs, all these things that use the word enhance. When you combine that with athlete, then I think most people would interpret that to mean things that help people, information and supplements that help people become a more advanced or better athlete.
I didn't make that. Yeah, Trevor didn't make that, just for the record, guys. This was like something that came from overseas, and take too much of it, it's like you get flu-like symptoms. And then you get really sick and you have 102 fevers for 2 to 3 days straight.
And then the EA symbol is an anarchy symbol. And it represents freedom. It represents giving true information upon which others can make their own decisions. Because most of the information that's out there in the media, most of the information in forums, is false. It's either intentionally false and misleading in order to guide someone to buy a steroid, or to get someone away from taking steroids, or to get someone to take some other supplement. Most of the people, most of the mediocre people out there are totally fine being comfortable and being controlled by someone else, being told what to do. So Enhanced Athlete represents that small percentage of the population who says that I don't need to be told what to do, I just want the information so I can make my own decision. Now, an Enhanced Athlete has two components to it. There's education, and then there's supplements and drugs. So the information started out on YouTube when I started documenting my use of DNP. It's a fat-burning compound that was thought to be extremely deadly, and yet I used it on camera with no long-term side effects and only a lot of benefits. That's how it started, was my personal experiments and then debunking the taboo and the myth. And boom, the Enhanced Athlete movement was born. It started uniting all of these people, started building a network, started building a community. But the rate at which I started learning once the community of Enhanced Athlete was built and sharing of information and the amount of fans that I had reaching out to me, telling me about their experiences with these compounds, then it started becoming scientific data. So then it became a learning tool for myself to learn from the audience. I would put out what my experience was and then find out if everybody had a similar experience or a different experience and what are the commonalities. And then we all learn from each other, and we learn exponentially fast. Trevor, get Tony to come completely off everything, which means steroids and SARMs and growth hormones. Try it. And make him do a monster PCT. I'd like to see if he can survive without TRT. So that was how it was structured in the beginning. Now, it's been one hell of a roller coaster ride because it got up to about 30 employees. It grew way too fast and made way too much money too fast. It was never intended to make money. But it did, and a lot of people were hired that did not share the same mission statement. The original CEO, being in actual control of the company, Scott and I were childhood friends. He is a genius. He is absolutely brilliant and has a really big heart, genuinely concerned about other people's and other people's benefit and well-being. So when him and I met about Enhanced Athlete, the mission statement, we both shared the exact same mission statement and goals. Again, not about making money. It was about bringing truth to the industry that we love, but certain parts we hate. We thought we could fix it. He was originally in jail for it's like a mortgage fraud, but he was not the main guy on this. He was working under the guys that were committing mortgage fraud, and he was making a lot of money doing it. But I went to his criminal hearings. I understood the case well. His heart, again, was in the right place. He was just working with an unfortunate group of people, and he is a risk taker for better and for worse, in good ways and bad ways, but he took too many risks with that business at a time, and unfortunately he got nailed and many other people did not get nailed. He was still on parole for the previous prison time that he spent based on the mortgage fraud. So he violated his parole, and then the main thing that they got him for was crossing state lines, going to Nevada. Then it got beyond what I could control as well. So this beast of a company that was probably the fastest growing company, supplement company, for a period of time there, it started going every different direction, really disorganized, really out of control, and a huge emotional and time tax on myself trying to hold it to the original mission statement.
So this is my baby mama, and we're doing our video conference. Show them how beautiful you are. Show them how big the boob implants I got you are.
It's not easy to deal with Dr. Tony Hughes, but I guess I need to accept him.
I call her baby mama. That I named her that because I didn't want to call her my girlfriend or my wife. Like, what do I call her? So my baby's mama, right? And then it's kind of like a funny ghetto term, so I thought it was entertaining. And then I thought it was also funny because she found it so offensive for me to call her baby mama, and I kind of got pleasure out of offending her.
And show us baby Callie. Bring baby Callie in. Callie! Hi! Hi, baby!
She was the best mistake, the best accident that ever happened. What really changed, what made it better for me was when I saw Callie on the ultrasound. I see baby Callie and that blew my mind. Like, wow, it's a healthy baby. Now all that really matters is this baby is healthy.
Honey. Okay. Bye. Say bye.
All right, let's have a seat.
How'd that feel? Yeah, like it rocks me to the soul. There's just so much tension we walk around with every day, you don't even realize until you pop it and feel the relief. So now
Enhanced Athlete got sued about a year ago, and it's for violation of the Lanham Act, which is civil case, not criminal case. It's a civil case alleging from another supplement company that it's unfair that Enhanced Athlete sells some of the supplements it does, and it's taking away business from other supplement companies, which there are no more effective supplements out there than these compounds. For them to come in and say that you can't sell drugs that work, you can only sell drugs that don't work because otherwise we're gonna lose business, it's just a great example of how messed up the American supplement industry is. The amount of fraud in the supplement industry that's the problem. The problem that people make claims about protein powder or carnitine pills that are completely false claims, misinterpreting the information, the science, and then those same companies are putting down the companies that were selling the stuff that really works, just for profits.
You fixed a long-standing problem. It's been it gets tight every once in a while.
But... Okay, so what we'll do first, we're gonna do some ART, kind of release all of these quads here.
Okay.
Then we'll take a look at the hamstrings. We'll go through that adductor as well.
I first got interested in putting on muscle to better myself, to feel better and look better. Although that started when I was about 12 years old. Because I had a girlfriend that told me she wanted a boyfriend that had abs. So I looked it up in the magazine and I saw, oh, okay, this is ab muscles and this is how you build it. I really got into the exercise thing for that and then the performance side of it because it felt good feeling superhuman. Figuring out that I could do more pull-ups than anybody else or more push-ups than anybody or run faster than anyone. Just to beat everybody, just to be superhuman. So when I became recognized as someone who had superhuman physical abilities and then superhuman physical being visually, then I get attention for that. I like the attention, I do it more, and then I become known for it, and I like that feeling.
As I'm not even your lawyer, but I just don't think it's going to be great for motion practice. So have you ever referred to yourself as Dr. Huge? I mean, I have a stack of documents saying this, so you can, if you don't want to admit that, I mean, it's a very basic kind of thing.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. You're not a doctor, are you?
I have a doctorate degree of jurisprudence.
From where?
Lincoln Law School.
What's Lincoln Law School?
Sacramento Law School.
Is it accredited?
Yes.
By what?
When I started in the fitness industry, I became Dr. Tony Huge. It started as a porn name. So my friends and I were making names that would sound funny as porn names to put on the back of our Hugh Hefner bathrobes. So Tony Huge, you know, like huge penis is what you'd think if you heard Tony Huge, and then the name Tony is more pornographic style than Anthony. So I think that's how it first came up. The doctor part was because I'm a lawyer, which is a doctorate of jurisprudence, not a medical doctor.
Yo soy Anthony Hughes. Le puedo ayudar en español.
But nevertheless, my friends would all call me doctor because of the level of education, combined with the fact that I was so knowledgeable about human biochemistry and supplements and pioneering human evolution from even a young age. They also referred to me as doctor. So that's how we got Dr. Tony Huge.
To get your fresh start and rebuild your financial health, contact Hughes Financial Law today.
So there was many other reasons I was emotionally done with practicing law. I mean, I already reached the top of my field. There wasn't much place to go from there. So I accomplished everything I could hope to accomplish in law.
So is there any type of research you did to determine whether or not lawyers can call themselves doctors?
In what forum? I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Not really. I can't put up a shingle saying I'm a doctor and give people medicine. Is that what you? Of course not.
No, and
Doctor's a very special thing, right? Doctor's allowed to prescribe medicine. You can't just go around calling yourself a doctor, right?
My name is Dr. Thomas O'Connor. I'm a board-certified internal medicine expert. So I dedicated my life many years ago to taking care of men on steroids, helping them make sure they are not making mistakes and that they stay as healthy as possible. We know what's going on. We need to first bring it out and discuss it next. Now we discuss it and we need to define what's happening and then who's getting hurt. How does it get hurt? We have no scientific data except for a few shoddy individual case studies. I feel right now that they cause danger, and until being further studied, physicians cannot give a blessing on that.
This is therapy. This is hitting golf balls across the river. The goal is not to hit that building, because we don't like hitting, destroying public property. Not to hit that pole, because the ball will bounce back and hit me right in the nuts. Not to hit this part of the concrete, because the ball will bounce back and hit me in the nuts. And not to hit that tree, because the ball will bounce back and hit me in the nuts. So I'm answering fan questions now. I answer a couple hundred per day. So the internet actually is really slow in America on the phones, though. I miss Thailand. Thailand internet's so fast, it's got to be 3 times the speed of American cell phones. So my childhood was in a divorced family between my father's side and my mother's side. My father's side being very business-oriented, a little bit cold, very conservative, and my mother's side being Italian, very family-oriented, very loving, very nurturing. So I had 2 completely different types of upbringing, but because I'd go between the households, I got to fully submerge myself in 2 different systems of values, 2 different approaches to life, which gave me more dimensions than most people, I guess, growing up. Like 2 completely different dimensions in one person, 2 completely different ways to look at things from a very young age. My father's influence kept me strong in business, working hard on personal development, education. My mother's side kept me someone who has strong values, who stands for things, who fights for things, and then prioritizes family and relationships as well. I have a whole other bag. Anybody want marijuana cookies?
Yes.
Oh.
Where'd you get
later.
these?
I need incense.
Where'd you get these?
Marijuana cookies. There you go. These ones are from the marijuana store.
Yeah. Do you like these?
Now this is insulin. Insulin's a little bit more dangerous. If you take too much of this, you die. But I'm taking a really small amount. I'm taking 2 to 3 units of insulin with 5 units of growth hormone. And I usually do this like once a day. So if I was gonna try to get bigger, like gain a lot of muscle, I would do this 3 times a day. Same dose 3 times a day. I'm just looking at that needle and it just seems so long. What the heck? Bro. I started learning about steroids when I was probably 18 years old, but I didn't ever plan on doing steroids. I thought steroids were just a crutch for people who didn't want to work hard enough. I delusionally thought that I could get the physique and the performance that I saw in the magazines or on TV without steroids. I didn't realize there was such a glass ceiling on natural performance. Now, if I could go back, I wish I would have started steroids at age 20, but I started at age 30. And I started with just the oral steroids. It's the gateway drug. So a lot of people start with oral steroids because it's so easy, it's like taking a vitamin. And then once you research it more and find out that you're probably better off injecting than you are taking the pill, then eventually you jump into the injections. And once you go down the injection path, then you're injecting all kinds of stuff.
30 minutes. Huh? 30 minutes.
And yet they're a lot safer than most drugs. So there's definitely a huge emotional taboo that doesn't have a place in logic. So if we just look at it logically, steroids are just like any other drug that if they're used properly, they can enhance the quality of our life. And if they're abused or used improperly, then they take away from our quality of life. It's that simple.
So you look at the pro bodybuilders, and it's multifactorial, everything is. So you can't give me 10 grams of steroids and think I'm gonna be Ronnie Coleman. It's not gonna happen. There's multiple pieces, but if you boil it right down, your direct answer is genetics. It's true. But then how much steroids are you willing to take?
So you take care of me if I pass on, carry me to bed? Yeah, okay.
What else? It's so tiring to wash. There's one chair right here, guys.
No, we served up. Oh, okay, awesome.
Once I educated myself, I realized this is a really good tool to improve the quality of my life. And I don't regret
anything I've done with steroids because it's all been a learning experience. Even steroids I did where I had a side effect, I just back off the steroid, the side effect goes away, and even given the small amount of side effects that I have had, it's definitely not enough to counteract the massive benefit that I've gotten from steroids. I've had about 8 YouTube channels deleted. I've had my Facebook posts deleted, my Instagram posts deleted, my Snapchat posts deleted, and anytime I mention anything to do with steroids, it's at risk of getting deleted. How many people are saying negative things about steroids who have no idea, who have not used them themselves or did use them improperly and have a sob story about their misuse of steroids rather than educating themselves before they got themselves in that situation. And they're ruining it for the rest of us because there's a lot of us out there that do want to publish information positive about steroids, but we're being censored.
Stay in the nicest hotel there for like 4 days, and then after that, we're gonna stay in a cheaper hotel.
And there's even more people who they would never come on camera. All the athletes, nearly every professional athlete that's using steroids or performance-enhancing drugs, which is almost all of them that are really successful, other than the extremely genetically gifted. I know they're targeting me because of the amount of time that it takes for my post to get deleted. I mean, 30 minutes. It's encouraging risky behavior is what they'll classify it as a term of a violation of the terms of service, which I disagree with because I'm presenting people both positive and negative. I'm presenting true facts about these compounds, whereas someone else may go on and say something completely untrue and negative, and that's not going to get deleted.
The next page is October 1st, 2016. It says, we're working on many projects, including publications, books, and videos. Truth is the only way to freedom. And like the Matrix, join us and break through the lies that the government, FDA, haters, and enemies of freedom perpetuate. Do you believe that there is a conspiracy against you?
Yes.
And who's part of the conspiracy?
Censorship, anybody who doesn't want the information that I present to be put out there.
And that would include the FDA?
I plead the fifth.
Do you think that, who else is part of this conspiracy? Just people who don't want someone who's not a doctor giving medical advice? Like those types of people?
I plead the fifth.
So you have no idea who's part of this conspiracy against you?
I plead the fifth.
Who are haters?
Definition of haters are people that do not like you.
For any reason? Like personally don't like you?
I suppose in the broadest sense.
What about like a police officer who catches you jaywalking or something? Are they a hater? No, they're just doing their job, right? Right?
Right.
Okay.
I have a problem with authority, so even being in the United States is difficult for me emotionally because I see it kind of as a prison of misinformation and arbitrary rules. That's one of the reasons I like to get out of America. It used to be that everybody used to go to Mexico to get their steroids and bring them back, but it's not quite as reliable anymore. It's not quite as cheap anymore. So it's not as good of a source for steroids as it used to be.
Oh, we're gonna get stuck. I gotta back up. Okay, I got lucky. I wasn't stuck all the way. Oh my God. Yeah, get off. Oh my God. After traveling the world myself and understanding different lifestyles, perspectives, governments, then I come back and I start seeing the prison walls. In other countries, you have people that are either just so clueless that they don't pass any judgment, or you have people that are just super open-minded. Like why would they pass judgment? They weren't raised to feel things like jealousy or all these emotions that are stirred up in us as Americans on purpose to try and control us through our emotions. They're just balanced people. Coach Trevor is the most brilliant bodybuilding chemist I've met in the world. You hear a lot of famous coaches out there whose names all over the place, but you don't hear some of these guys that are on the underground that have like the real hardcore secrets, and he's one of those hidden names. He's hard to pin down. He's like a super nerd. Even though he's in a bodybuilder's body, he's a super nerd genius. We started traveling the world together. That way, we could spend more time, I could spend more time learning from him, and then we could also go around meeting other people, and he could continue to learn. Daniel's another one that, like, I was afraid to approach him in the very beginning. We just had a lot of fun hanging out, a lot of fun training. The guy's got a most hilarious personality. Like, his personality on camera is awesome, and his personality off camera is even more awesome. He was doing growth hormone business, and then since then, stem cell business. So when I go down there, I'm doing experiments with him as well. It's just another example of when in every city in the world, I start developing a network of friends that I can go hang out with, but then I can also do bodybuilding experiments with, and I can teach them what I've learned as I've been traveling, and they can teach me what they've learned while I've been away. And so this whole lifestyle revolves around constant stimulation and learning and researching and sharing information and then traveling around the world. Let's wait here. The office is only 2 blocks away, so they're coming right now. The actual head office is right here.
Could be worse. We could be in Sacramento.
They gotta bring the fire back. It's one of the reasons I like to get out of America. It's stressful to be here. There's other countries that are also very controlling that bring me a lot of stress to be in. And to experience the difference, you have to go to a country where you feel really free. I guess the closest thing to it for someone who's never left the United States is camping. Like, you go camping with your friends in an isolated place and you have freedom to do whatever you want. You just have yourself, your friends, and nature. I think that's the closest that most people ever get to feeling truly free. Now, when you go to some of these other countries and you actually have all the entertainment and fun and lifestyle, but you have that same feeling of freedom you do with camping, but with all the accessories, then you really start to feel good. You feel freedom. And so knowing how good it feels to feel free and then being back in a prison of the United States, that's a stress on me. It's a constant. That's a 24-hour-a-day stress. I've gotten some fake stuff from Mexico, quite a few fake things, actually. So you do have to be careful, and that's why it just takes some trial and error and getting to know what's fake and what's real. And the prices are, the price, if it's a very hot tourist spot and you're gonna get tourist prices, then it's more expensive. But if you go to the spots where more of the Mexicans buy the steroids, then it can be cheaper. It's in every single pharmacy. They have it in stores. They have it in every country over the counter. In Mexico, you can buy it from the pharmacies over the counter. Doesn't mean you're gonna get pharmaceutical grade stuff. It's all over the map.
Next page is a snap taken from March of 2016. That's a picture of you and enhancedathlete.com back on DMP, and it says, my favorite supplement. After the competition, I can't stop binge eating 5,000 calories per day. Thank goodness for DMP. Do you remember making these statements?
I played the fifth.
Now, if I could just get my diet under control on DMP, wow, I would look shredded all year. And it says www.enhancedathletechannel.com. Hashtag fat loss drug, hashtag fat loss. Do you remember making this post?
I played the fifth.
All right, next page. This is taken from certain videos posted on the Enhanced Athlete YouTube channel before it was taken down. And in this video, someone is running a cycle of DMP, and you're doing effectively a vlog of this particular individual's experience. And here there is a disclaimer, which admittedly is rather half-hearted, where it says DMP is deadly if you are an idiot and use it incorrectly. So this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't do anything without your doctor supervising you in a prescription. So is DMP deadly?
I played the fifth.
Is it deadly only if you're an idiot?
I played the fifth.
When you say it's for entertainment purposes only, do you think that people might take DMP after watching this?
I played the fifth.
When you say don't do anything without your doctor supervising, are you referring to yourself?
I played the fifth.
Are you referring to another lawyer?
I played the fifth.
No, you're talking about an MD, right?
Are you a natty lover? Are you a mother effing natty lover? This is not medical advice, legal advice, or any other type of advice. Don't do anything that we do. We're crazy people. This is for education, entertainment purposes only.
Originally, I thought the best type of relationship for me would be to have 3 girlfriends and we all live together. And maybe I have kids with each of them and everybody's like one big family. That's what seems natural to me because I've experimented with many different types of relationships. It's been really hard to get all the girls to stay in one household together and not fight. Girls just get so catty. Polygamy is having more than one wife. Now, I'm not married, I don't plan on getting married, but that same relationship model is most appealing to me. It's open on one side, which is that I can have multiple girlfriends, but those girls can't have multiple boyfriends. I don't want to hold someone back. I don't want to trap a girl and not give her everything she wants to be happy. I feel like I should be able to have as many girlfriends or as many wives as I can keep happy. If one is not satisfied, then I will allow her to get what she needs to be satisfied. If I were to call them and say, I want to see you tonight, and they're like, oh, I'm on another date or I'm not available, then I cut them. And then as soon as they are not available, then I realize that I'm not their first priority, then I cut them. I like the women to just come to me, want to be around me, worship and massage me. And multiple women, because I can handle as much attention as multiple women can give me. For the most part, it's very open about our feelings. I say exactly who I want to have sex with, when, how, and I need a lot of attention. But the best attention for me of all is just to have girls worshiping me. It's all about improving the quality of my life. I find the quality of my life to be higher when I have 1 girlfriend, even higher when I have 2, and even higher when I have 3. But I choose the girlfriends very carefully based on the needs that I have that I think they can be 10s at. Like, you want a girl that's a 10 in every way. I can't find a perfect 10 in every way. Never met a girl. I've traveled the whole world. I've met hundreds of thousands of women, right? And I've never found a perfect 10. Am I supposed to settle and sacrifice and, in my opinion, have a mediocre relationship with a girl that's a 10 in a couple categories, but she's a 5 in a couple other categories? Or do I get the girl that's a 10 in fitness and a 10 in bed, and then over here I get the girl that's a 10 intellectually and a 10 in social functions, and then I can also express different parts of my personality. With each girl, I get to be a little bit of a different person.
So what happened was my friend was, the originally plan was for her to meet a person in the club. I was kind of bored, so I was walking into the dance floor, and Anthony took their 20 youths walking out from the dance floor. And what we had is like eye to eye. And then I looked back and he was waiting for me and said, grab my hand, and then says, can you dance with me? The next day, July 4th, he invited me. We have a barbecue going on at the house. If you can come by, that would be nice. Oh boy, that first day, 4th of July, he's a very aggressive person, you know that? Dr. Tony Yudes, if he wants it, oh boy. But he's hot, so it's like, oh, every part of his body is like, oh, this is the one. I want it, I want it. He took me upstairs. And then he brought me into that room, which is, it was Brent's room. And then he just raped me there. It's not rape because I gave in anyway, but that's the beginning.
So I got the best of each for each night of the week. That fell apart when I had my daughter, because here we have one girl that now got pregnant, and she's trying to say that now I have to be with her and trying to control me, and she had baby mama had the baby on purpose in order to try and control me. You know, it's something I feel like I was tricked into, but now I'm really grateful for, and it changed everything.
Turn up time.
It also means a lot to me that my daughter is proud of me, and she's only 3.5 years old. But she's traveled with me, and she watches and she sees the positive interaction. So she sees that me giving to other people information, inspiration, support is rewarding to me, and that I get rewarded for it through positive energy and positive feedback. And her following me around and watching me do this, it gives her a head start on a whole nother level.
Yeah, Kelly, Daddy Superman.
My life is gonna be insignificant someday, but what she learns by watching what I'm doing, and a lot of people would say that, I mean, she watches you inject steroids, Tony. She's seen videos on YouTube of you with multiple women who's not her mom. A lot of people would say I'm a terrible father.
At 2 years old, baby Callie has reached her natty potential. It's time to become enhanced. Candy.
She has a lot of the same traits I have, and I recognize them in her at a young age. And I know what tools that I can give her and what experiences I can give her that will give her a head start into becoming not just a productive person for herself, not just have a good quality of life herself, but for her to truly be a saint in this world and be able to start giving back at a really young age.
Freedom is riding through the jungle on a four-wheeler with your daughter.
So I really, really like hookers, Asian hookers especially. Some of my best relationships are with Asian hookers. So I found one that I really liked that kind of reminded me of baby mama, which kind of helps me heal because I feel like I never had the full control and respect with baby mama, but this girl kind of has the same look as her, but also respects me a lot, listens to everything I say. I'm allowed to be the man in the relationship. So I found an Asian hooker and I told her to get off birth control and I got her pregnant, which is a miracle because I've been on steroids for 6 years.
Oh, she's pregnant and naked in the shower. Well, now Baby Mama and Baby Mama 2.0 had a conference call together with me, and there was a lot of yelling and cussing from Baby Mama number 1. Baby Mama number 2 is super chill because she was a hooker. She slept with 4,000 guys, and she's been in porn, all this kind of stuff. Wild girl. So now they're figuring out how to interact with each other. I think Baby Mama's okay as long as she's still in first position, and I think Baby Mama version 2.0 is okay being in second position. What does natural even mean these days? Our food is adulterated. Nothing about our lives is natural. So why are we all of a sudden picking one thing like, oh, when it comes to my hormones, I'm gonna be natural. But all the rest of the vitamins and minerals and foods and stimulations that are completely unnatural, those are okay. I don't think there's any such thing as being natural. So when people say that being natural without having a really good reason why, it's usually based on ignorance. Ignorance, jealousy for other people being willing to conquer this fear and having the courage to try something to better themselves. And it's also just a cop-out because a lot of people that fail, they want to blame their failure on other people cheating.
Bates number ND26 at the lower right-hand side. Oral pre-workout steroid that you were promoting, again, with medical charts and things like that, showing low liver toxicity. Do you remember doing this?
I plead the fifth.
Do you ever offer an oral pre-workout steroid?
I plead the fifth.
Is it common to have steroids as a pre-workout?
Yes.
How common?
Amongst most athletes and competitors.
Most athletes consume steroids before they work out? Is that your statement?
Yes.
So, like, Michael Jordan would take steroids before shooting some free throws?
Athletes.
You mean professional bodybuilders?
Yes.
Okay. Not athletes in general, right?
One at a time, please.
Okay.
Let him finish his answer. And then
Yes.
you can respond.
I apologize.
Performance sports, not strategic sports.
So, would you consider tennis to be a performance sport?
No.
You consider it a strategic sport?
Yes.
Let me do this the other way. What would you consider a performance sport?
Sports that take strength, mostly strength and speed.
So
and
football.
Visual. Yes.
So most football players consume steroids before they work out.
I don't know.
Well, that's what you just said is all. That's why I'm just trying to pin you down on, like, what exactly you mean by that.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's really common for people, for professional athletes to consume steroids before they work out?
Yes.
What do you base that on? Just enhanced athlete sales?
No, just communicating with them.
Just talking to people in
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
But there's, like, no other basis besides that, just you talking to people?
I don't know another basis, but yes, there's other basis. I just can't think of anything other than my personal conversations.
Okay.
Insulin levels people do less, but I want to see them.
And you're trying to get some blood taken too?
Thyroid.
Okay.
So using steroids causes the blood to become thicker, which is fine. It's the steroids have side effects, but if you take care of the side effects, then steroids can be used very healthfully.
You know when you donate blood?
Okay.
Like if they take the blood out, but I'm just gonna throw it away because I have too much blood in my body.
Same problem.
Yeah.
That's cool. Damn, that's quick, too.
So my blood was way too thick, mostly because my platelets were too high. So my blood was too trigger happy to clot, which could be the source of a heart attack or a stroke. So when we found out how thick my blood was, and the problem is you go to a doctor and to do a therapeutic phlebotomy, it's really hard for them to do therapeutic phlebotomy to drain your blood. Like, to get a doctor to prescribe that is like, you have to be so in the extreme unhealthy before they'll do it. There's no like preventative concern. So I was not able to donate blood because I had chlamydia within the last year. So Coach Trevor and I were in my kitchen, and he said that he would drain my blood for me. So what we did is we stuck the IV needle in my vein, and we just left the other side open, and we just drained as much blood as we could into a large measuring cup, a really big cup. And we drained it until I got dizzy. So we weren't trying to get a specific amount of blood out. We just did it until I couldn't stand up anymore. So as soon as I started feeling faint, like I was gonna pass out, then we pulled the needle out, plugged it up, and rehydrated me and put some sugar in me so that I didn't die from too much blood loss. But I needed to get so much blood out.
Like, this is just after giving his blood right now. I mean, it's chunky and it's the thick. There's parts that's already coagulated. He has a ton of plate. I mean, they'll see it on your lab work.
That's how thick my blood was. Like, most people's blood will like thicken over time, but mine was like you could pour it upside down and the blood was solid. That's how thick it was. What's different about me than most people in the industry also is that I prioritize health, which sounds crazy because I'm doing injections on camera, experimental compounds, but I already know the benefits, health benefits and risks of doing the standard steroid cycle. And I also know that I can beat that. I can get better results with a lot less side effects, and I can have a lot more longevity. But it's not that I'm intending on competing in bodybuilding when I'm 70 years old, but I want to look like I'm competing in bodybuilding. Oh, man. That's all I could handle. Oh, that hurt. Now I see why you don't inject into a cyst. If we just look at it logically, steroids are just like any other drug, that if they're used properly, they can enhance the quality of our life. And if they're abused or used improperly, then they take away from our quality of life. So there's definitely a huge emotional taboo that doesn't have a place in logic.
The top pro bodybuilders are men that can have the genetics, have the will to train hard and live that discipline, and respond to steroids and tolerate steroids without crashing, at least early enough, because they can take it. Their bodies are incredible, but they won't take it for long. They won't take it for long. They'll come into me with heart failure and kidney disease. They all have side effects. The more you ramp up and change, the more side effects come. And then it becomes man per man, and then it becomes how much can you tolerate? And then it becomes what other drugs. And see, what happens sooner or later is you get into what's called polypharmacy. Many medicines, a drug for a drug for a drug.
Now, there's a whole bunch of other steroids that are not natural to the body. They're synthetic, but they're made to be improved versions of our naturally occurring hormones. They're made to be even safer. Lumping them all into one category is already giving misinformation. Saying steroids is bad is saying drugs are bad. Okay, does that include aspirin? Because aspirin can prevent heart attacks. Aspirin can also kill you if you overdose it. Steroids can't even kill you if you overdose it, but the same thing as far as use versus abuse applies. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of people with political power that are anti-drug, like I used to be before I started experimenting and learning, through personal experience more about the drugs rather than what's published.
I think the funniest naysayer thing that ever was when I did the video about using insulin needles to inject gear instead of regular needles.
so many people said that's impossible.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick, all this stuff, and I'm like,
Try it.
how can I fake it? I just showed you on camera.
So I can talk to people in the bodybuilding and athletics realm and learn from them, but there's people in other industries that are very stressful to deal with because they're so close-minded and they put their judgment so hard on other people that they're part of the problem of controlling other people, part of that mob rule. And there's a lot of that in America. Unfortunately, because of the censorship, it makes it really difficult to find accurate information on the internet anymore, which is why I started Anabolic TV. Anabolic TV is a server that is not limited by or censored by any organization, so I can start uploading whatever I want. Now, there are actually some things that get censored because Google and other search engines will actually block the site, which makes it really hard to get the message out.
Last page is a post from Ryan James Russo. Do you know who that is?
I plead the fifth.
He's an admin of your Facebook page. At least at this time. You never heard of him?
I plead the fifth.
It says in September 27, 2017, if anyone's looking for real SARM sources, he's the only ones to represent. It goes on and on talking, sort of lauding Enhanced Athlete SARMs. And then it links all of the Enhanced affiliated websites. At this time, it was Scott Supplements. Have you ever heard of that website?
I plead the fifth.
What about EnhancedRx.com?
I plead the fifth.
What about V2EnhancedAthlete.com?
I plead the fifth.
What about EnhancedChemicals.com?
I plead the fifth.
What about theFertilizerWarehouse.com?
I plead the fifth.
According to Russo, that's where you guys sell DMP now because Enhanced Athlete stopped the website Enhanced DMP. Do you recall that at all?
I plead the fifth.
In order to get my message out, I got to rely on all the people that I've inspired for them to pass on the message. Because once there's enough of us, it's really hard to censor us all.
If you could, get that back for me.
I thought you were being invasive.
No, rubbing it. No, I'm just Go ahead, because it's there. Oh. Get my back, Trevor. Oh.
Kane Bishop is the biggest bodybuilder name in Sacramento. I had seen him compete in a bodybuilding competition. I just thought he had the most beautiful physique. Like, I thought he's Mr. Olympia material. And then I became friends with him, and he was also open-minded, willing to experiment. So I started experimenting on him with some of my new theories about bodybuilding, because I can experiment on myself, but I can only run one experiment at a time. So if I start working with other bodybuilders, like Bishop and many others, then I can start running like 5 experiments at the same time, and I can learn that much faster.
Where are you from? Sacramento, California. You too?
Yeah. Mike. Hey, Mike. Tony. Tony, nice to meet you. Good to meet you.
when I go and talk about a certain compound in a positive light, a lot of people might use that compound. And that scares people that that could be encouraging drug use, especially in minors. And I don't encourage it, I just give the true information. And then people can make their own decisions about what to put in their bodies.
For 1 IU or 50 grams for 1 IU?
Well, that totally depends on your insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
Some people can get away with like 3 grams of carbs per IU, like almost nothing. And then plus, when you're only doing like 2 units of insulin, or 3, you usually don't need any carbs. You could be in keto, having no carbohydrate intake, but then it's almost like exponential once you get like...
For them to come in and say that you can't sell drugs that work, you can only sell drugs that don't work, because otherwise we're gonna lose business. It's just a great example of how messed up the American supplement industry is. Those same companies are putting down the companies that were selling the stuff that really works.
Yes. I like this one a little better though. Fruit Loops. Now we're trying Fruit Loop flavored protein.
The way the pharmaceutical companies would like to see it is that you can only do research if you invest millions of dollars, which only they can do. And because the pharmaceutical companies write the laws, control the politicians, control the law enforcement agencies, they get to decide the definition of what is research.
I'm 34, so we're probably shaking the same, just me being normal. I might be getting a Parkinson's. No, I can't get Parkinson's because I take cabergoline sometimes. You know, that's what it was designed for.
Really? I didn't know that.
Personally, I think it's a tremendous benefit to the youth. But of course, the youth using drugs, experimental drugs especially, is very inflammatory, very controversial to the youth. But I say the biggest danger to the youth is misinformation. We're spoon-feeding our youth completely false information about health, nutrition, even finance. And they come out of high school or college basically brainwashed robots to work for this machine. They have no idea what they're doing or why.
Remember Charles Barney? He's getting ready to go on stage for classic physique at the pro level.
How can these bodies be healthy? It's going to pay a toll. Now, how much toll are you going to pay? What's your gambling numbers? What are your genetics? What are you going to do? Is it important to you when you're 70 to feel really great? Because you're not. You probably won't even make it to 70 without a heart bypass. The average man I take care of in America is being told what to do by a guru, and the gurus are pathetic. There are going to be criminal actions against them sooner or later.
Okay, you got it.
You know?
Lots more coming up on that.
What spots would be good for what, stuff like that.
How much to put in a certain spot,
Exactly.
what head to put things in,
Exactly.
common mistakes. You got it. We'll do all of that.
After traveling the world but understanding different lifestyles, perspectives, governments, what it's like to live in different forms of control, then I come back and I start seeing the prison walls.
What's that then? DC?
It's because I'm always doing experiments. And so a competition is a good opportunity to experiment how fast I can get my body in condition, because most people prepare for a bodybuilding competition for 2 or 3 months, and I do it in 10 days. So it's always good to test my theories on how fast I can transform myself. And also, because my diet is all over the place, I have coined the phrase, diet starts tomorrow. It's unbelievable how much food I eat and how far my diet is from a normal bodybuilding diet oftentimes. So it's an opportunity for myself for a very short period of time to test my discipline as well.
Spray tans, pump sets, rice cakes. Must be a bodybuilding competition.
Try this. Try transitioning like that.
I do know for a fact that there are some bodybuilders that you would never guess are natural are actually natural because they have extremely good genetics. If they were to take steroids or other chemistry that helps them go to the next level, then they could really be superstars on the main Olympia stage. What it takes to be an absolute superstar in bodybuilding is genetics plus the chemistry. But you're never gonna be the very top without both of those components.
Okay, guys, thank you. That was masturbating.
If there's another athlete that has much better genetics than me, I can match them by using drugs to get my body in the same condition that their body already is naturally. Whenever you're at that peak of where that change is not quite accepted yet, there's gonna be a lot of resistance. There's gonna be a lot of people that are afraid of change. The way I see it is normalizing genetics. There's always these glass ceilings, and there's always something or someone has an intent to hold us in the position that we are or to keep us on the path that we're at. And I say that steroids are a way to break through that, to be what we want to be, and free ourselves from what other people, genetics, past history, anything has already predestined for us.
101, 104, 108, 107. No, you guys. 109. 105.
And the winner, the man of gold, number 109, Anthony Hughes.
I just love being on stage and pictures and people clapping. So, like I don't ever want to get off the stage. Like I just want more time up there.
101, 104, 108, 107. No, you guys can file off stage.
SDS Pharmacy, calling for Charles. According to our records, there is a prescription that is ready to be refilled before we can ship the medication.
So this was to refill my prescription for GHB. GHB is the date rape drug called Xyrem here in America. Hard prescription to get. Very excited that I'm gonna get my refill for it. I guess the most common use for it worldwide is gay guys use it to party. But for therapeutic purposes, it helps sleep. So what this stuff does is give you a 4-hour window of really deep sleep. And then after that, you wake up so refreshed. So you could work 20 hours a day and take this stuff and sleep really deep 4 hours a day and have the benefit of having slept like 9 hours a day. So you save 5 hours of sleep. I'm gonna start taking some of my supplements that I didn't already take. First one's for gas, so I don't feel so bloated. I think the most interesting thing I'm gonna take is Kratom. Helps me focus more. It's like the perfect nootropic for me. And I don't have any addiction problems to it. I don't take it every day. I take it 2 days on, 1 day off, just to make sure I don't get any kind of dependence. I got Pygium. This increases the amount of semen I produce, so shoot a much bigger load. And then Blue Ox Test Booster, the natural test booster EA makes, plus all of kind of like a multivitamin in one for men. And then the SARMs. So I take primarily SARMs instead of steroids now. I do still take steroids, and I experiment with everything in bodybuilding. to stay on the cutting edge. But my foundation that keeps me anabolic, keeps me building muscle, is SARMs. And then for my stomach, I have a really sensitive digestive system. So this is. I've done experiments that you could say have gone wrong because I experienced some side effect, but to me it was a learning experience. For example, gyno is the development of female breast tissue on a male body. As you know, your nipples get puffy and big and swollen, even lactate. You know, milk comes out of the male nipple. Well, that's happened to me on a couple steroids that aromatize, that turn into estrogen. And that's usually why side effects happen. What'll happen is one person will take this drug without the drug that goes with it. They'll have side effects, and now this drug's all of a sudden a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, they just didn't use it correctly.
Oh yeah, massive side effects. Massive side effects. But then it's man dependent. I have seen men in front of me say on 3 grams to 5 grams a week, and I say, how do you feel? Right in that chair, how do you feel? I feel great, man. And then I have another patient who's on fraction of that, maybe just TRT dose. He's a nervous wreck. Feels like crap. What's the difference? Fingerprints. Different man. Genetics.
So I travel with pretty much a whole pharmacy here. Oh, yeah, a lot, because we're gonna shoot everybody up. I might as well start drawing this somewhere in the lab. Maybe I'll wear a lab coat and some gloves. This is a sight enhancement.
Do you want me
shoot
to
up all the guys with it?
Oh, you're gonna shoot up people?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you need? Do you need like gloves? You need a lab coat?
Gloves and a lab coat.
Okay, yep.
I think the main reason that bodybuilders don't spend much time in the lab is they can never find lab coats that fit. It's the most dangerous thing that ever happened to me was I was injecting experimental site enhancement, a highly cross-linked hyaluronic acid derma filler, and I used one that was way too strong, and it felt like I had the flu times 10 to where I could barely get out of bed for a week. My whole body was just super toxic. And then the last time in this last bodybuilding competition, I took a lot of oral steroids. I only prepared for 2 weeks. I didn't diet. I didn't even do cardio. I just took a lot of steroids. and it worked, but it compromised my liver health. I didn't have the physical signs of jaundice, but I had the feeling of my liver being taxed. And as soon as I stopped the liver steroids, or the liver toxic steroids, and did a flush with liver cleansing supplements. So there's been little incidents like that, but I know how to pull it out. I mean, I know how to, when I get my health to a certain problem, I also know how to diagnose it and then how to treat it myself as well. Because this is what we do every day is experiment, a lot of injectable experiments. But this one is to maintain my fertility and my natural testosterone production. This is HMG, so I'm gonna inject this on myself first before we do the growth hormone. This is not a very exciting spot to inject, but this is just in the stomach fat. It's actually one of my least favorite places to inject. This is HMG, kind of like HCG. All right, HMG injection. And that's it. Okay. Now, growth hormone. You ever done IV growth hormone into the vein?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna put it into your vein.
So it's faster.
Yeah, because then we're gonna get your blood test done right after. So just
Wait
stand.
like 15 minutes? 10
No, it'll be ready immediately.
minutes? No.
Yeah, just stand right here so I can see your. Before me, you have people using steroids and pro hormones and oral steroids, and it's not healthy the way they're using it. What I've done is taught people how to use it healthfully. Have right here so I can, there we go, let's go here. Before you have a lot of people buying crap supplements that don't work, spending all their money, wasting all their time in the gym, not making any progress. Now I'm able to teach them how to make progress, what would have taken them years of progress in a month, and to do it healthfully. All these drugs and supplements in bodybuilding can be used healthfully. And that's why I believe in giving people the tools and the information to make healthy choices about them. You censor all the information, and now you're leaving the people with access to the drug still. They're always going to have access. But now you've taken away the information on how to use it. Now you've given them a weapon with no instructions. They're going to have access to the weapon anyways. I want to give them the instructions on how to use it safely.
When a man is on testosterone and or steroids long enough, his brain will shut down permanently. I've seen men do 1 or 2 cycles and from that point on never recover their endogenous testosterone well enough to feel well and okay. Early disease is reversible. Longer disease, more permanent disease, irreversible. Heart and kidney disease is the end problem chronically for these men. And they're exhausted. They feel horrible. They're exhausted.
I think it would massively improve our quality of life if steroids were legal. So yes, I think they should be legal, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. It's ridiculous that they're illegal in the first place. I hope someday more of them will become legal. This is and what I like about working with some of the biggest guys or the guys that have the biggest potential in the world to take someone from an elite level and take them to somewhere that the human body's never been before by using cutting-edge science. So we'll just do 1 shot on the outside this time because I don't want to shock his body with doing too many site enhancement injections for the first time. Because it's going to be sore, but it's going to be sore like you did a really hard calf workout. Not bad. Nothing bad.
As long as it's good. We didn't deal.
All right, so relax it. Is it relaxed? How's it feel so far? Nothing? Okay, good.
Running late, getting me back tonight.
Okay. I thought it was going to be 40, and they're like, oh, you're here before 9.
Yeah, there's an early bird thing that's going on. It's good.
These are the things that excite me these days. Cheap parking.
Enhanced Athlete was not built as a company to make money. Enhanced Athlete was built as a company to change the world, to start a movement. Fighting against this case, being one of the first companies to stand up against a case like this that is meant to destroy our freedom and our ability to choose what supplements put in our body, this was our opportunity to stand up and be heard. SARMs have been around for a long time. They were intended to be a replacement for steroids, having all the benefits of steroids without the side effects. And they are. This is a serious threat to the mainstream supplement industry. So we fought the case, over $600,000 invested in attorney's fees in fighting the case, and now going on probably a couple years now. So exciting to get to a final resolution about it, but most companies from a business perspective, they just settle it. So the difference was here is fighting out of principle to do what's right, because I was a lawyer before. I represented a lot of clients that unfortunately chose to settle, which then every client that settles one of these type of cases is helping finance these evil attorneys that go out and basically tax our society, make business more difficult, and restrict our freedom for only their own personal gain.
Now, Mr. Hughes, if you're ready, part of the reason you're here is as a corporate designee, managing agent for marketing for Enhanced Athlete. Are you familiar with some of the pleading that went back and forth on that matter?
Objection. Fifth Amendment.
First of all, you can't make objections on the record. You're not counsel.
Oh, it's going to be a long deposition. Shortly after this civil lawsuit was filed, my understanding is that the government started doing its own investigation, and substantive allegations of this civil suit are very similar to what the criminal allegations in the indictment would be. As a consequence, while that criminal case is pending, it's important for Mr. Hughes to exercise his Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate himself.
I can see where it's heading. I can see how it's shaping up. It's a really interesting battle between good and evil. I make a point of only representing the good guys. The villains, you know, they can be adversaries, but I won't take it on unless I have a client that I have a great deal of faith and confidence in and a lot of respect for, and this is it.
The third sentence in the first page says, our products are clinically tested for optimal purity and potency. Are you aware of any testing of these products?
I plead the fifth.
Generally, what do you consider to be clinically tested? I'm just asking for like your definition outside of this.
Well, it could be, that's a pretty broad phrase, so it could be any scientific test.
Do you think that it has to be done by scientists, for example?
To be a clinically tested would have to be done in a clinic.
What do you mean by clinic?
Well, like a home is not a clinic.
Okay,
Clinic would
so
be a professional
something under the
business.
auspices of a PhD. Is that fair?
I would think clinical means the location.
So it could be like a HGH clinic. So do scientists have to be involved as you consider
In
this
a
term?
Clinical, in the definition of clinical testing, I don't think it requires a scientist. It requires a location and business that has the proper machinery.
So in your mind, it is...
Clinic, it's more location.
Okay, so you're referring here mostly to like testing for certain like percentages of compounds for purity and that sort of thing.
You're asking for my definition, irrespective
As you read this, correct.
Of this, irrespective of this document.
Correct.
What was the question again?
You consider, for example, chemical testing that may not be done by a scientist. It could be done by a junior high chemistry test. That would be meet your definition of clinical testing?
Yes.
We've done a good job. We stood up against it. So far, we've won almost every motion in court. We just served a whole bunch of discovery that it's going to prove that the entire scheme of these type of lawsuits is a complete scam and extortion. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying the process. I was elated, excited, happy to have the opportunity to fight one of these bastards, lawyers that I'm familiar with.
The first page is a page on the Enhanced Athlete Facebook page dated May 24th, 2016. And it says dmpseals@enhancedathlete.com or scott@enhancedathlete.com. Do you remember making this post?
I plead the fifth.
And do you know who scott@enhancedathlete.com is?
I plead the fifth.
Scott Cavell?
We think we're not slaves, we think we have control, we think we have freedom, but we do not. And once you start rising to a level of either success or pioneering your own human evolution, and you start realizing like, oh, this compound cures cancer. Wait, why is that not available to us? And you start researching, you start trying to find out how they're trying to keep us down.
Take 5? Yeah, off the record. Take 5?
Yeah, sure. My life mission is what it is because of where I am in my life. So I had already accomplished all of my goals. Myself taken care of, ready to move on to help other people. That's the next step in our own human evolution through our own lifetime, is to leave a legacy of helping other people before we die. The difference that it makes in these people's lives is so huge. I just cannot deny them of that. So I'll continue to travel around to research, to meet people, to network, and to pass on as much information as I can, especially to other people that can get the word out to help the movement to promote freedom. So I'm at the point now where I'm here to help my daughter and my family and the entire public in the entire world by sharing my experiences and my knowledge about human chemistry, quality of life, so that the world can become a better place. So as much as I want to settle down and be in one place, there's too many things I have to do throughout the world, so I'm probably going to be traveling for a while.
If I create more people that are superhuman, if I create more people that are open-minded, willing to explore human evolution and how do we get to the next phase of creating our own evolution, then I have more friends. And it's exciting because when I'm doing this type of research, I realize no one else on planet Earth is researching some of the things that I'm doing as deep as I am. Nobody has the answers that I seek. So how do I get those answers? I order the raw materials of whatever it is I'm researching. I start experimenting it on myself. So I retired as a lawyer with millions of dollars, and I recycled all of that money into research and development to be able to be on 20 years ahead of the rest of the fitness industry. And that's my passion. It all comes down to a fundamental mistake I made with Enhanced Athlete. And you asked like what I learned from it, I think, something like that. I learned that some people belong at a certain quality of life. And if you spoil them, it will actually ruin their life. You can't take someone that's supposed to be here and then put them here. And unless you're going to maintain that the rest of their life for them, the problem is when you take it away, they'll do anything not to go back to here, including taking from other people and hurting other people. So this actually happened with a lot of employees because Enhanced Athlete was making so much money, it was overpaying employees that had no experience. You would think that if you overpay someone or you spoil someone, that they would be grateful for it. Now you've increased their expectation for life, and now they cannot be happy at a lower level. So this happened to the most extreme to one of who became my best friends at the time. Well, Enhanced Athlete didn't always have the money to pay him and fund him to maintain that quality of life. So he constructed a way to try to steal everything from Enhanced Athlete, from the customer list to the domain names, to the distributors, and to try to start a competing company, and to try and then destroy Enhanced Athlete so that it wouldn't compete with the new company that he created. And this was my best friend at the time. So he connected with some of my other contacts in the underground steroid world and worked together to blackmail me for $500,000. Threatening me that if I would go to the police or tell anybody about it, then he would kill me and my family. And in the meantime, trying to steal all the business that he could from Enhanced Athlete and myself. And so he tried every way he could to ruin my life and destroy me so that I wouldn't be a threat anymore. I think he thought, and the other people involved thought, that I was gonna break easily because, you know, from me being at the top and then crashing, and I was at a really low place. I mean, I was in the Philippines and I almost gave up on life. I wouldn't say suicidal, but it was something close to that, where I was gonna completely give up on my life mission and just cash out without cash, but just say, you know what, I'm just gonna live in this shitty little apartment in the Philippines that costs nothing and get the new girlfriend and not expect much from life anymore. And it was my brother who pulled me out of that and got me back on my path. He pretty much saved my life. But these other people were counting on being able to take everything from me and destroying me emotionally and financially, and if I became too much of a threat physically, so that I couldn't fight back or reclaim what was mine.